Hey guys, what's up? This is Alex with Alex Pro Mix. In this video, I'm going to show you how to get started mixing before you start mixing. This basically means what do you do with the file before you actually get to work. I know all the videos on YouTube talk about, hey, let's compress vocals, let's EQ this kick drum, woo-ha, here's the latest plugin from Waves. That's fun. However, let's get to some serious business and show you how to do this from scratch, all right? Tune in, let's go. All right, so here we received some files from an artist, an independent artist. This guy is from Jamaica. Big up Jamaica. Big up the Jamaican posse. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these files and basically save them to a folder called Quarantine. Now, most of the time, I'm not gonna get instructions from the client. A lot of times they just send me the file and 2 days later they're like on Instagram, hey, did you get those files? I'm like, yeah, thanks for the instructions, man. All right, but this looks like it's a Pro Tools session, so let's go ahead and open that up. So from the looks of it, it looks like the music track is here. Let's just clean that out, get rid of all this stuff, which we don't need. Boom, 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 there it is. Let's hit play and see what happens. Here we go, you guys ready? Let's do this. I'm gonna listen to my little aura tones. I do most of my heavy lifting here, and then when I want to really experience the music, especially the low end and the stereo image, I go to my mains, all right? But these guys, believe it or not, they get used the most. I'm 80% on these little guys, 20% on those. When I'm mixing, when I'm mastering, it's the opposite. I'm like 90% on those and like 10% of these. And then the other 5% is like Alexa, which is behind me. Alexa, say hi.
Hi there.
All right, cool. Let's begin. Let's go ahead and hit play and see what's on here. Check it out.
Dad, is that shredded beef going to be used for anything? Because I'm going to have it as a lunch meal.
Yeah, it should be enough for the whole family. Say hi.
What? Oh. Hi! Put a thumbs up and subscribe. And turn your notification things on. Bye.
Bye. All right, so that gives you guys an idea what the song sounds like. It's raw. The beat is nice. The vocal recording is just completely raw. So there's a couple of things that I need to do before I even think about mixing. I mean, don't even think about putting a plugin on this until you do these steps, all right? Step number 1, save a copy somewhere else. So I'm gonna go to File, Save Copy In, Items to Copy Audio Files, click OK. I'm going to change the name from Rec Session to the name of the song. I think it's called Yardman. Yardman by Indino. Yardman. Yeah, it just doesn't sound right. Yardman. All right, let's click Save. It's there. Now I'm going to open that session. Let's go to Yardman. There it is. I'm not going to save the original Rec Session. I'm going to leave that alone. Remember, that's in the Quarantine folder. And now we have the version that we created as a copy. Now, I do want to check something really quick. I'm going to go back to that Quarantine folder and see what else is there. There is a Yardman. I'm sorry, not even Yardman. Yadman. Y-A-A-D. And there's an MP3, so I assume that's like the demo mix, right? So a couple of things. First thing, gain staging. Gain structure, gain staging. As you can see from the WAV file, this thing is just completely normalized to death. I mean, that's the 2-track instrumental that we have to work with. And the way that I like to do things, I like to use VU meters. In fact, I have a pair of VU meters right here on my desk. I use the left pair calibrated to -16 dB full scale, and the right one is calibrated to -10 dB full scale. The left pair I use for mixing, the right pair I use for mastering. So in this case, since I'm mixing, I'm going to route everything to these meters, and I'm going to make sure that when I'm doing my gain stage, I'm hitting that VU meter around 0. at the loudest parts of the song. So let's clean this up. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of that. We'll take everything off of input. We'll take everything off of output. We'll take everything off of automation. So everything's reset. Nothing's going to 0 when I hit play. It's playing, but there's no audio going to everywhere because I just reset the entire I/O setting. So just for you guys, I'm going to show you how to do this in the box. All right. So let's go ahead and route all this. So we have the click track. Let's move that to the side. Let's route the music track, which is here, and all the tracks. Select them all. Shift select them all. Shift Option. Click output and choose new track. Here I'm going to create a stereo aux input and I'm going to call it mix. I'm going to give this little symbol and I know that it's a mix track. That's on solo safe, and now when I hit play, I'm going to hear something. Yep, I did. Cool. Next step is going to be to route this mix track to a limiter and route that limiter to our print track. All right. So I'm going to create a stereo master track limiter. I like to keep my limiter separate from my mix bus. Route that master track to nothing. From the mix output, route that to a new track, stereo print. And this print track I'm going to use to basically route my entire mix and print different versions. As I go through mix version 1, mix version 2, mix version 3, I can compare with the original demo song, which we will in a minute. This print track is going to be solo safe. It's going to be input monitoring. It's going to go to our main output. All right. Now this master track that we created a while ago is not doing anything, but what we're going to do is we're going to route that to the same print track. So what that means that this works as a trim volume to that print track. Well, check it out. This is down all the way. There's no signal going to it, but as I turn it up, signal's going to it. You see that? And what's cool about that is that later on I can put a limiter on that and make my entire mix louder when I'm printing, but keep my mix bus pristine with the gain staging that I want. Cool. Next up is going to be insert A. I'm going to put a VU meter. And like I said, for this part of my mixing template, I usually route this to my physical VU meter. That way when I'm mixing, all I'm doing is just glancing down my eyes on these VU meters as I'm mixing. If I'm adding bass, I'm adding compression, I'm adding mix bus compression, I'm adding EQ, it's making the mix louder. I want to see if I'm hitting the mix bus too loud. All right, so this plugin is going to be calibrated to 16. We're going to leave it there. Limiter, we're going to use the L2. Later on, we'll switch that out, and that's boosting 6 dB. All right, so now we got to figure out, okay, what should be the volume for the entire mix, right? We have the music track here, and then we have all the vocal tracks. So we'll turn everything down, hit play, and then adjust our music level until this VU meter is reaching around 0. Okay, and that's it. And as you can see from the mixer, I have to turn this volume down to -13 dB because this track is just normalized to death. So I can do two things. I can leave my fader on that track to -13 and have proper gain staging, or I can push this to unity, which is 0, and then I can clip gain this to -13. And I'm going to do that instead. I'm going to clip gain the waveform to -13. Now when I hit play, this fader's at 0, and I'm reaching my VU meter where I need it to be. And that's the way I like to work. Cool. Let's bring up the other tracks and see what they are. So this looks like a lead. Let's go ahead and solo that. Or bring that up with the music. Okay, here's a chorus. Let's go ahead and bring that up. Solo it, bring it up.
She says she want a yard man. She wants somebody where she knows.
Yeah, so these vocals are recorded pretty low. We'll take care of that in a minute. But this is your rough gain staging. Let's bring everything up. All right, so now that we have a proper gain structure in place, let's talk about BPM, tempo, and markers. I'm gonna take this music track, all right? I'm gonna try to find out where the downbeat of the first kick is. So I'm gonna solo that. Cool, so I'm gonna cut before that kick. I'm gonna erase everything before it. Don't flip out, just follow me here. And I'm gonna move this to the beginning. It's a little fast. Let's bring it down from 102 to 101. All right, so the BPM is 101.5 thousand. Now that we have the BPM tempo marking there, we're gonna basically take the original track and bring out the beginning, which is this much, and then just scoot it to the left. Let's see if that lines up. So we got our BPM or tempo map in place. Now let's hear this. Now we're gonna bring in the demo mix. And as we're listening to the demo mix, I'm gonna do two things. I'm gonna create markers for the song so I can skip around from intro, verse, chorus, outro. And then we're gonna familiarize ourselves with the demo mix to kind of get an idea. All right, what was the artist listening for to see? How does he want his vocals? Does he want it out front? Does he want it effects? Does he want auto-tune? Does he not want auto-tune? So all these things are processing through my mind as I'm listening to the demo mix, all right? I'm gonna use a keyboard shortcut called Shift-Command-I, which is called import audio, not to be confused with import session data. And we're gonna go here to our quarantine folder. We're gonna go to wherever that project is. Here it is, Yardman, not Yardman. I hope you guys are having a blast, because I am. And we're gonna put that on this track right here, on this print track. And the reason we're gonna put it on this print track is so that later on, with a click of a button, I can just go Shift-I, listen to our demo mix, and then Shift-I, listen to our live mix, all right? We're gonna listen through, and I'm gonna start making markers on the session by hitting the button Enter. Here we go from the top. So first of all, the first one is gonna be called Start. All right, marker.
Indeed. See him so. Yard man now. Yard man now. Yeah. She said she want a yard man now. She wants somebody where she knows again.
You know, basic structure. We got intro, hook, verse, pre-chorus, hook, verse 2, pre-chorus, hook, outro. Doesn't get any simpler than that. What I did here was that there's a lot of effects on the voice, so that's something that's fun as an engineer to play around with. That's what I call the creative mixing, and I've talked about that in my courses. So the next step is to color code, and then put red. And then you have lead A, B, BG. I don't know who that is. Chorus, BG, ad-lib. You see how there's like these huge gaps between like the intro and the chorus and the pre-chorus, which is like right here. I like to eliminate all that. That way when I'm glancing at it, I don't get like this big blob. I just see the parts where the parts come in. So for that, I'm gonna select one of these clips, hit Command U, which is strip silence, and then adjust threshold so that it catches most of the waveform. So I don't wanna chop out the top or the tails, but I do want to chop out all the silence in between. Once I have the settings right, I'm going to click strip, and it's going to basically eliminate all that empty space. Now with that selection in mind, I'm going to hit semicolon. It's going to go down, strip, go down, strip, go down, strip, go down. Do it again, one more time, do it again. And there it is. Typically at this point, and so that I don't make any mistakes of like moving the clips around like this, like, oh man, where is it to go? You know where to go. Typically what I like to do at this point, select everything from right to left and choose Control Option L, and that locks the clip so that I don't accidentally move it around, right? You see that? I can't move it around. Let's go ahead and color code this a little bit further. Let's pick one of these colors for this guy. I think that's the hook, so we'll choose a different color, and then the ad-lib, we'll choose this color. So visually that looks a little bit more appealing. Also, I like to get rid of the names. I don't like to see all these clip names, so I go to File, Clip, Name, get rid of that. So that's a little bit more visually appealing. Let's take a look at our mixer. And I like that. I think this is a good starting point. I published a course on Udemy called Mixing Vocals, Techniques That Pro Engineers Use. And in there, I talk about the 3 T's of vocals, which is timing, tuning, and tone. If you guys want to check that out, I'll leave a link below. You can download the guide and access the video. The reason I mentioned that is because at this stage of cleaning up the session, that's where I'm going to do next. I'm going to isolate all the vocals. I'm going to listen for the recording. I'm going to detect if there's pops, clicks, plosives, and noise. I'm going to treat that. Then I'm going to go through verse by verse, adjust the timing, make sure everything lines up with the grid and everything feels right, timing-wise. I'm going to adjust the tuning if there's any singing, which there is on the hook. I'm going to go into Melodyne, go into Auto-Tune, and then I'm going to mix using the tone, which is the 3rd T. I'm going to use EQ, compression, effects, until we get this track sounding nice, tight, and commercial sounding. So again, that's all the time that I have. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. My name is Alex here with Alex Pro Mix. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'd love to hear your comments below. This channel is not about me. This channel is all about bringing you guys the best techniques and tips on mixing and mastering to make you sound your best. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. Please comment below, subscribe, and download my free guide on mixing vocals left on the video description. Till next time, I'll see you again real soon. Peace.